Well, back in Gauteng, proceedings have been adjourned at the Claassen Inquiry into former National Police Commissioner Riah's fitness to hold office. This as more damning allegations are emerging. Lindela Mashego, a witness who was in charge of media relations for police during the Marikana tragedy, has testified that he was instructed by Phiyega to change critical information within the media statement that was issued on the 17th of August 2012. Lindela had initially received an internal electronic copy of the police statement, which he copied to his computer, and minutes before the media briefing on the day after the tragedy in a separate room at Lonman headquarters, Phiyega instructed him in the following: not to differentiate between scene 1 and scene 2, not to mention that there were two scenes, that 16 people died at scene 1 and 17 people died at scene 2, and instead the National Commissioner told him to give an overall figure of 34 miners killed. The second change that was added was that there was a systematic withdrawal of police on the scene, but this was not the case. Well, let's get more on what came out of the Commission this morning. Our reporter Nozintombi Mia is live from Centurion. Nozintombi, good afternoon. So day 3 continues with a lot of contradictions and finger-pointing. Take us through what we heard from the second witness and how this plays itself out in the hearing.
Well, a very good afternoon to you again, Natasha. It certainly seems as though the evidence leaders are launching a very intensive campaign against the defense. They really have lobbied quite strong volleys against Riah's particular defense with their witness that they had yesterday, Captain Nhlati, who talked around the issue of the TRT unit and the instructions that he'd heard from national management. And they continued again with their onslaught against National Police Commissioner's defense, speaking today to then police media spokesperson Lindela Mashego, who basically spoke about the issue of the inconsistencies and the fact that National Police Commissioner had instructed him to make several changes to a press statement that was expected to be sent out to the media on the very next day after the Marikana tragedy. So it certainly does not look well for National Police Commissioner, who's currently under suspension. It doesn't look well for her defense.
And Nozintombi, adjourned for today. What can we expect tomorrow?
Well, what we understand from the defense is that they still want to go and finalize their research around the issue of Lindela Mashego's testimony, and they're quite unhappy with some of the inconsistencies that they believe they flagged down, and they want more time to be able to review their line of questioning, and they'll be able to start with the cross-examination tomorrow. We are hopeful at this stage that the cross-examination will continue on time tomorrow. The Commission is supposed to start at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, but we will see. What we have seen over the past 3 days is that the defense has been reluctant to lodge their volleys against the evidence leaders. So tomorrow really will be a telling time for National Police Commissioner's defense, whether or not they have a strong line of defense or whether they're just going to roll over and let the evidence leaders hammer at their defense.
All right, Nozintombi, thank you very much for that update. Our reporter Nozintombi Mia live from the hearings in Centurion.